So it is now 12:04 or '05 on Thursday morning, and we just finished with everything. So yeah, it is now the next day, and yeah, we will start on the torsos, and yeah, I think these ones here are probably less than half a pound per container, so we'll see though. Just grab a second one. Then check. So it is almost half a pound actually per container. So yeah, then I will get to work. And yeah, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to be doing this exactly yet. I might just first start by removing all the ones that we're probably going to have to wash from the one lot again, or something like that, and then go from there, because like all of these ones and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly how I will be going through it, but yeah, I'll get started, and yeah, we'll see how far we can get. So just finished with the first container. I think it honestly took like less than 30 minutes for the container. So yeah, then just a quick overview is these are the ones from the stuff that we're gonna put through the wash again. This here is some torsos that had some like mismatched colors, or the arms were destroyed, but the base was good and it was a good torso or something that I want to get the arms for, that we'll put with that stuff later on. And then that's, well, the container I haven't gotten to yet. And then, yeah, some of the stuff in the garbage, and then some categories here. I did end up moving the plus containers for medium moderate damage and lots of marks and scuffs container to below it, just so I don't have to keep lifting it up, because there seems to be a somewhat decent amount of those there. A couple just normal condition ones, and some minor, medium, and normal minor damage / wear and stuff like that. So I'm thinking what I'll do first is I will actually transfer all the stuff from these larger boxes into these smaller boxes, just so that I can get a better estimate for how much we have to do, and also because I can't dump one. Well, I mean, I can dump one of these on the table, but I think it just kind of makes it go a little bit better. This time, like normally it's always fun to dump it out and stuff like that, but I think for this, since we're just about finished with all the stuff, I might just put it into smaller containers. I'm not sure exactly how I'll approach this one yet. I think that one's supposed to be in there. But yeah, then I will get this transferred to these, and we'll see what we can do. So yeah, then emptied the boxes into them, and yeah, so we've got 2, 4, 5, 10, 15, 19 containers of the regular torsos. So I didn't fill these ones too full. Most of them are like only up to the level of the top of the container, and so yeah, I think that like just a random one here that's probably about the size of the one that took about like 30, maybe a little bit more minutes to get through. So in theory, 19 divided by 2, that would be, well, let's just up it to 20. And so about, in theory, only about 10 hours to get through this. So a day or two to get through that in theory. And then, yeah, these ones here will take a little bit longer, but since we had all of the arms and hands sorted, here's some here. I think we might have more somewhere else, I'm not sure. Then we'll be able to work on them a lot faster, so that'll be good there. But yeah, then I'll get to work, and yeah, hopefully we can finish with that stuff somewhat soon. So yeah, then on to the next container. So that container took not quite 45 minutes, but maybe closer to 35 or so. But yeah, then now on to the next one. And yeah, in theory, we will just have to say that only 27 or 28 more times, and then at that point, we will be done. So I was checking a whole bunch of torsos, and I was initially going with the standard method of kind of just like holding the legs like this to check for cracks and stuff like that. But after a while, it really damages the hand. But then I found a new technique where if you hold it like that, then you can just push from the bottom to check for it. And yeah, so I should be able to use that and hopefully quality check the torsos a fair bit faster. On to the next container. It is now Monday, and yeah, time to get back to work. So yeah, our goal for today, for the most part, will be in trying to mostly try to finish up with these containers here. So I've got the one there, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 containers here. Because, yeah, if I remember correctly, we got through like, I want to say like 6 containers in like 3 hours the other day. So that means we should be able to get through the 15 containers today. Hopefully. I was working on a bit of stuff earlier, so a little bit less time, but that only was like an hour or so. So we should hopefully be able to finish with this today. And then, yeah, I am definitely not going to be able to finish this tomorrow, but I'm going to say I'm going to try to have this finished tomorrow. But more realistically, probably Wednesday at the earliest that we can finish with some of this. Not all of it will take forever, like for here, just need like a yellow hand, so that would go relatively fast. And then some of the ones like this here, you need arms and hands. But the one thing that I might end up doing is just not completing every torso. Like if it's mostly complete, like if it has both arms or something like that, then I can try to complete it. But for the sake of time, I might just not complete all of them, and I think that would save a lot of time. I will still complete some. Let's see if we can find an example of one that would be worth it to complete that isn't there. I think that one, yeah, that one's the one, Star Wars Rebel Pilot torso. I think that torso is like $2-3, so something like that I might try to complete. But then same with something like a castle torso, that stuff I'd try to complete. Going to bad work. I'm gonna try to complete it, but the torso will probably shatter. But then I'd rather shatter it now than shatter it when someone buys it and tries to do it. But then something like a Rex torso from the Lego movie probably won't. But yeah, we'll see when we get there. But yeah, then I will get to work, and yeah, we'll see what we can get done. And yeah, hopefully this week in this vlog, we can start to get things listed for our largest upload ever. And yeah, I'm just curious to see all of the like the weights and everything like that of all of the stuff. So yeah, then I will get to work, and yeah, we'll see what we can do. And then yeah, there is still a few minifigures that I need to figure out what to do with. These two, I was looking for some parts. Like this one here goes for like $15 complete, but then parted out, it's only like $7 or $8. And the headgear is relatively common, but I just couldn't find it anywhere. And yeah, I couldn't find the beard for this guy, even though I had 2 of his helmets and one mostly complete version of him. So yeah, these ones here I should be able to complete though. So yeah, who knows? And yeah, I'll get to work. On to the next one. On to the next one. On to the next container. On to the next one. On to the next container. We're maybe a little bit over halfway through the day, but grabbing this one, and we're just about halfway done with the torsos. And now on to the next one, which means we are now more than halfway done from the stuff that was for these torsos on day 2 technically, because we did some stuff Saturday. But yeah, good progress. On to the next container. On to the next container. On to the next container. So I'm calling it a day now, and yeah, so we started with 15 containers, worked on some stuff, and then got to work on the containers, and now there's 4 left. So we got 11 containers done today, which overall is pretty good, I think. And yeah, so but of that, we've got roughly 4 containers. This does include a few, I think, from Saturday, so part that isn't part of the 14. Or 11 that we did today, and I could probably even get it in 3 or so. And this here's the stuff that is of like several different designs, along with just a few other ones that I found along the way that need to get washed again, because they've got some like dirt and stuff on them. We'll see if I can find another good example. It can be a bit difficult to see sometimes, and it doesn't affect all of them, but for simplicity at this point, I am just including all of them, because even if it's not very present, it is present to an extent on almost all of them. So I'm just trying to find one that's good for the video, and there you can kind of see it's just like stuff there. Not all of it will clean off, so some of it will just stay and we won't list it even after it gets washed, but there's that stuff. So yeah, then we've got 4 containers of complete torsos, which should only take several hours to get through tomorrow. And then, yeah, just the base incomplete torsos, which, yeah, if I find a base torso, like, let's just say this one right here for Emmett, if it's cracked or if I see bite marks or anything like that, it's just not going to be listed. It'll just be put right in the garbage container. So in theory, some of this stuff might be faster than this stuff, because like if I see one side of the torso that's cracked for a torso that is complete with arms, then I have to position the arms and place it in here and stuff like that. But as I'm not, my goal isn't to complete as many torsos as possible, except for a few here and there, then yeah, a lot of them just won't get listed. So hopefully this should speed things along a bit. But yeah, we are on track for Wednesday to maybe Thursday, hopefully at the latest, finishing with these torsos. But yeah, call it a day. So we just finished shipping orders out, and I actually canceled an order because on eBay, ever since we started shipping with Stallion Express, parcel only and stuff like that, we, whenever like possible, so it's only really possible on eBay. I don't think Brick Owl has it, but I know that you can do it on eBay. You can disable shipping to PO boxes because with Stallion Express, like maybe 1 in 50 packages is cheaper to ship with Canada Post, but usually they're double or triple the price, starting at like 10, and often for PO boxes closer to $15 a package. And since we have flat rate $5.99 shipping, then on eBay we've just disabled shipping to PO boxes because we'll be losing quite often almost $10 on every order, which significantly skews the average shipping costs and stuff like that. So we disabled it on there, and so then we got an order for these two minifigures here, and yeah, the buyer placed the order, and then I was looking at the address before I remembered the whole PO box thing. I'm like, that's a funny way of spelling PO box, because normally you have PO and then a space and then box, but they had P space O space B space O space X, so that it could like bypass eBay's system or something like that. So I reached out to the customer and told them, sorry, we are canceling the order because we have it set to no PO boxes. And then they respond with, thanks for letting me know, or something like that. So yeah, I don't think I've ever done that before, but yeah, then we have it set up to specifically prevent that, and then they seem to have bypassed it by, because I think eBay flags it by checking the address if there is PO box in there somewhere. So I think them just changing it around somehow bypassed it, or something like that. But yeah, so that one was canceled. But aside from that, we did actually have a nice order for 19 copies of Golden Oni Lloyd, along with a couple other parts of that. It was like $900 or so, so that was a really nice order. We had to print commercial invoices and all that fun stuff for it. But yeah, then that is now shipped out. So yeah, back to work. It is now the next day, or well, next day relative to when I was working on these last, but still the same day as the previous clips. But yeah, then on to the next container, and it is currently just past 8, I believe. So we should easily have time to finish with this and then get started on this. And then yeah, I mean, hopefully tomorrow, being Wednesday, our freest day of the week, we'll have enough time to finish with this. I don't know for certain yet, but if we can finish this today and start on this, then yeah, we'll find out. And then I want to say that torsos that are missing the arms and hands might have a slightly higher chance of being damaged compared to torsos that have arms and hands, meaning that it might even go a little bit faster perhaps, though there's also more per container because the arms and hands aren't taking up room there and stuff like that. But yeah, who knows? And yeah, I'll get to work and hopefully we'll find out. And yeah, that means if we can finish this tomorrow, then tomorrow will be when we get to see all the upload stuff. But depending on what time we finish it tomorrow, it might not be until the day after or something. But we'll see if we can at least get weights and stuff like that for all the stuff. But yeah, we'll find out soon. But yeah, back to work. On to the next container. On to the next container. On to the last of these ones here. So the stuff there is now done, and now on to this stuff, and I'll probably just do a somewhat similar setup then really quick for this stuff here, and move it kind of like this, so we can kind of put it similar. I'll work on this one first. So if we put that one there, and then we can put this one here. And yeah, so then, yeah, if we initially had 15 pounds of torsos for that stuff there, and then each of these, actually we'll wait because these ones might be more dense potentially than the other ones. Just need to get the scale on here for a minute and then set it 2 pounds. But normally these containers are about half a pound each, give or take. Actually only 0.4 pounds. Actually, there's only a few containers. We can just weigh them real quick. Put that one there, then grab one more. So that there is about 2.5 pounds. So if we repeat it for the other side, we've got about 5 pounds left of these torsos. And yeah, our theory is that this stuff might go a little bit faster than the other stuff, but we still don't know yet. But even so, only 5 pounds left. That means in well, we did a little bit Saturday, we did a full day Monday, and a little bit Tuesday. We were able to get through 10 pounds of torsos. So realistically, like 1.5 days, that would make it like, if we have 2 days, that would be 5 pounds a day. 1 day would be 10 pounds a day, but we did 1.5 days, so it's 7.5 pounds a day, I think, if the math is working there, on average for the stuff here. So yeah, not too bad for that. And yeah, that means that we might be able to get this done by tomorrow. That is our goal. So yeah, I'll get back to work. So yeah, then this here is kind of an example of what I was thinking is, yeah, I just went through the first container, and those are the ones that ended up going into the garbage container. And then we've got these 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22 torsos here that are good. Or at least they passed like the initial quality checks, and now we'll see if we can like add some arms and hands to complete them and stuff like that. So yeah, of the container, it wasn't a full container, but yeah, we've got basically just like a little bit over, or almost exactly one handful here of torsos that made it past, the rest there. And then there was, I want to say maybe 5 or so base torsos that ended up going into some of the containers here and stuff like that. So yeah, then I think that entire container took like 10 minutes or so. So yeah, then finding the torsos, arms, and hands and stuff like that may take a minute. But we do have all of these containers here that have them all sorted by color and everything like that. I think these are just the arms. I think we got more hands somewhere, so I'll have to look for that. These here are just the torsos and stuff that I took out of the complete torsos that were missing parts, or more so. Well, they were all complete for the most part, or actually I think all of them were complete, but then like if I had badly damaged arms but a good torso, I would like set it there or something if I wanted to see if we could complete it, or if it's got like incorrect color hands or something like that. It was just there. So we'll work on some of that stuff at some point as well. And yeah, so overall, good progress. And yeah, unless something major happens, we should finish tomorrow, hopefully. So yeah, it is now the next day, and I just wanted to clarify that sorry for the lack of the yogurt time videos. We've had a temporary shortage of yogurt, so it's just been a temporary delay, but we should be back hopefully somewhat soon. But yeah, so then for these containers here, what we'll probably end up doing, because I was just trying to think how like looking through all this stuff will take a little bit of time for each one and stuff like that, and we did end up finding all of the hands, so there's that. So what we're going to first do is we're going to go through all of the containers, and then once we have all the stuff set aside that we'll be working on, then we will work on completing the torsos that we need to and stuff like that. So yeah, we will first just go through the containers without really doing too much, and then after that we will complete them, and then after they're completed we will quality check them, and yeah, after we quality check them, then it's time to get all the numbers together and get stuff ready to get listed. and yeah, hopefully have our best listing time ever. But yeah, on to the next container. So it took about 10-15 minutes for the first container, and yeah, now on to the next. On to the next one. On to the next container. On to the next one. On to the next one, and that marks over halfway done with the stuff. Actually, I think the previous one did, because we started with 11. Today, we started with 10. So today, this would be over the halfway mark, but on an overall level, the previous one would have been the halfway mark. But yeah, on to this one. On to the next container. On to the next container. On to the next container. On to the last container. So just finished now with the last of the base containers. So then now we have this pile of torsos here. Not all of these ones will be kept or anything like that. But these here are the remaining torsos that we need to see if we can complete. And if we complete them and we can put them, quality check them and stuff like that. If we can't complete them, then we can take the arms off and then see if we can use the base torso. And if we can't do that, then it will just go into the garbage drawer there. But then that is now done. I'm saving these last few minifigures for the last things to work on. So what I'm going to quickly do is I'm just going to see how many containers this is, just so we can see roughly how long it might take. So we have 3 containers, which means we should have roughly 1.5 pounds of torsos. It is 8:50 p.m., so in theory we should be able to get another 2 to 3 hours of work in, and considering on one day we were able to get up to 5 pounds, or no, 7.5 pounds if you average it out, of torsos done per day, then these ones will take a bit longer since... yeah, just over 1.5 pounds. These ones will take a bit longer since we need to get some arms and hands for them. But we should be able to finish with these torsos today. And as soon as these are done, then quality checks are finished. So it is now 12:04 or 05 on Thursday morning, and we just finished with everything. The only slight caveat type thing is we have these 2 containers here. We were getting a lot of progress done, but realistically, probably weren't going to finish it tonight. And so this stuff here is stuff that we aren't quite sure what we want to do with precisely yet. Like the Zane that's missing their real common headgear, and some of the Scurriers that are just missing some barbs, which we don't have in our inventory. And then a whole bunch of like the Lord of the Rings torsos are in here, and older torsos, and then some newer ones, and so stuff like that. So it is in the review container that it would normally be in, except we didn't quality check everything yet, but that's also in part because we're not exactly sure what we want to do with all of this yet. So it's more of like a technicality to just kind of finish it today. But it's not just like purely a technicality. It is kind of stuff for review that we aren't quite sure what to do with yet. So that is fine there. And also we did need another review container because that thing got full again, so we're gonna have to do some of that stuff. And yeah, we did lose 1 set of legs in the quality checks, so there is that. And yeah, so we are now completely finished, well, I mean, beyond just a little bit of a caveat with that, with all of the quality checks. So yeah, then now what I'm going to do is box some of the stuff up again, because yeah, I hadn't shown it before because that's on this table, but I cleaned up that stuff. So we can kind of look here. It doesn't look like much. This is not related to it. Same with this one. But yeah, then we've got 13 shoe boxes here. 14th shoebox there, and then 15th shoebox, 16th shoebox, and a whole bunch of containers here. So yeah, we are going to now just quickly kind of put the stuff where it all needs to be and get some weights, and then yeah, tomorrow we can start listing. So yeah, I'll get some of that stuff done real quick so we can finally see what we're all working with, and yeah, it'll be quite fun. So yeah, then just emptied the containers that we could. Several of these containers are smaller ones that there just isn't enough, and I don't know what container that's supposed to be from. So we will put that one into our review container here, just to kind of figure out at a later date. Because yeah, like we've got like 1 foot cracked, 2 feet cracked, has black marks plus container, the nicks/dings plus container, and has other colored marks and other color marks plus container there. So those ones there just isn't enough for a shoebox, so it just will stay in those ones there. Then we've got these containers here, these two, which are stuff that needs to get washed again. This here is for some alternate numbers we need to add at some point, so we will take a look at that some point in the future. Probably won't have time for that for a while though, so we'll just kind of leave that there. But then yeah, before I forget, we can mark off the torsos now. And yeah, for the ones in the containers, it's less than 1 pound of torsos and stuff like that. But yeah, so then that's that done there. And so yeah, we initially started with somewhere around 90 pounds or so. The 47 that was on there was a number we took like halfway through and stuff like that. But yeah, so we started with like 90 pounds. So now what I'm going to do, not sure how to do it with this printer yet. I think you just press that twice though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the different categories and see what the weights are of all the different stuff and see how much we're left with. So I just finished weighing all of the stuff here, and yeah, so we started with 90 pounds roughly. That included container weight of 3 giant containers, similar in size to those ones, actually the same size as those ones, and 2 of these containers. And so we've got the 2 here, and I'm pretty sure that 3 of those containers weighs more than 15 of these smaller containers, because yeah, they're much more dense and sturdy and stuff like that. So we started with about 90 pounds, so probably knock about 2 pounds off for that. Then I'd say we've got about a pound, we got about 2 pounds there, about a pound there, and I think we had some other stuff we were putting there earlier, so about 4 pounds off for stuff that has to get washed again. And then I think there was at least 2 pounds of stuff that was still city, so we put it into there. So that brings us up to 8 pounds of other stuff. And then I'd say probably around 2 pounds of missorted stuff that ended up like in this drawer here, just like normal bricks that made it through. So if you roughly add it up, I'd say maybe about 10 pounds, give or take, of stuff wasn't supposed to be or should be removed from the 90-pound total, bringing it down to 80 pounds. So yeah, then we've got this stuff here. So 2.8, and basically these are the quality, condition, and the weights of each of the containers and stuff like that there. And so for that, and so when you add it up, well, I got 2 different numbers, but roughly 58 pounds, which is pretty solid. So let's say we had the 80 pounds, then deduct 58. That means there's 22 pounds gone, but that's just simply damaged stuff that we've removed. Each of these bags is about 3 pounds, give or take. And we've got a lot of these bags here, and we've sold a few, though a lot of them are from some of the other stuff. But when you add it up, so that's about 20 pounds of the stuff is damaged. We will still get money from this. It's not like it's just completely lost. Yeah, these auctions will get anywhere from like, I think the last few were like 30 bucks a pound Canadian, but it's quite normal that we get like 50 to 75 bucks a pound for the damaged stuff. So 20 pounds of that could be recovered, like some money from the 20 pounds can be recovered from that. So yeah, overall, not too bad. And also there's another half pound here of the stuff that we need to get alternate numbers from and stuff like that. So yeah, overall, not too bad. This took a long time. We were initially calculating, I have no idea. All I know is that we wanted to initially be done by sometime in August. We were hoping early August to finish, but then for some reason, even though it was taking longer than I thought, I kept thinking it would get done even faster. So we then were saying like maybe late July, then I said mid-July, then I was for some reason hoping early July. I'm not sure where I got that from. But yeah, so ended up taking till late August, because yes, now the end of August almost. And I'll just pull up the screen. So yeah, then I went to page 2, because page 1 is like some stuff from canceled orders, a few odd things I've listed here and there. But yeah, so May 5th was the last time we really listed stuff in the store. I feel like there's a calculator I can use for this, so I'll just try and find one real quick. So I got it up, and yeah, 115 days, roughly where we were, but 80 business days and stuff like that. So yeah, took 115 days. I don't think that's how long it took to actually quality check it, because I know after we did some of these stuff, I think we were working on something else. I have no idea what it was. Oh yeah, we were initially working on like washing all of the stuff, sorting all the stuff before we started any of the quality checks and stuff like that, and then who knows what else there was and stuff like that. So that's just how long it has been since we've really listed stuff. But then for quality checks, I want to say maybe 3 months, give or take. I'm not entirely certain. We'd have to look back in the vlogs to find out. But I don't know for certain. But yeah, so we've got all of this stuff here. And yeah, so that is good progress. I'll be calling it a day now. And then tomorrow we can start going crazy on the listing. And yeah, we'll be keeping track of all of the values of all of the stuff. Some of the stuff, it makes it a little bit complicated because we have like the review containers over somewhere. But yeah, like the review containers, we have to quality check again, which I know kind of defeats the point and stuff like that. But all of that stuff is stuff that doesn't fall into any of the other categories. So we need to kind of work on it like that. So it takes a bit of time, but that's usually where the expensive stuff is. So we don't want to kind of lump it in with the other stuff, kind of, and stuff like that. So we'll be working on that at the very end. But yeah, then other than that, yeah, just need to make massive brick store files, add remarks, and get it listed. So yeah, we'll see how long it takes to get listed. We're hoping that sales will be taking a massive leap up in sales, because yeah, we've got hopefully a lot of inventory. Not sure exactly how much. I'm nearly 100% confident this should push us back to over 20,000 lots in the store, but I have no idea. So yeah, we'll be finding out over the next little while as we get this listed. But yeah, then I'll be calling it a day. But yeah, then the one other thing that I didn't really mention yesterday, but is very nice, is that for the first time in I don't even know how long, this table is finally clear again. So that is quite exciting. So yeah, basically the way we're going to try to approach this is I'll be working on some of these smaller containers first. So for example, all of them where there's like 1 foot cracked and then stuff like that, while someone is sorting all of the stuff of one category by color, because that's just how we're going to be doing it. Because I only like to put, like, for example, if I've got, well, like, you have to find some way to approach when you've got 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 roughly. So 16 pounds of one quality condition. You can't just grab the bricks that are all the same. So in order to kind of do that, we'll just be doing it by color, and then possibly subsorting it a little bit, just so that we can find the stuff to work on. So while I start working on some of these categories, then someone will go for some of those. We will start with the minor wear container, which is one of them here. because that one, it's a solid amount. It shouldn't take too long to sort, and then I can work on that one while they work on the minor damage containers, because that's the most prevalent one. And then yeah, basically work on the stuff as we go. We'll only be having like one container open in each area or something like that, because we don't want to mix anything up. But yeah, then I will get to work and we'll see what we can get done. But yeah, we should hopefully be getting a lot of stuff listed and everything like that. But the one thing I will be doing first is restarting the computer, because yeah, the internet keeps going out every night, so I probably just need to restart the computer at this point to fix that. So yeah, I'll do that and then get started. So yeah, just as a quick kind of check-in, the store is currently at 9,815 lots, and yeah, we will be kind of trying to keep track of some of the stuff as we go. And yeah, got the first stuff ready to get uploaded. On to the next container. So yeah, then just have the first stuff done now. So this is the minor wear slash marks stuff. So yeah, then this here is now sorted all by color. And yeah, that'll make it go a lot faster now. Some of the stuff, it's a little bit not quite exact, but that's fine. I can fix some of that stuff. But yeah, so then for the most part, it's yeah, just all the stuff here. The minor wear slash marks, which is this stuff here, includes some valuable stuff, but I think a lot of the real valuable ones are either in the minor damage slash wear containers or the review containers. So we probably won't see too many too expensive things with this stuff here, but in the next one we should, because yeah, I think like the dark tan plumes will be in the next one and stuff like that. So yeah, then yeah, it just boxes get sorted by color, and yeah, then I will process them. But I'll first finish with the 2 feet cracked, then after that move on to the minor wear slash marks, and yeah, keeping track of all of the stuff. Now on to the next upload. But yeah, for those who may be curious, the way that I go about adding the stuff is after I've gotten the list made, I then basically just press I have the remarks column selected, and after I've added prices and the comments for all of them, I then basically just go through the stuff and I grab a brick, set it in the drawer, scan it, then press the next one, find that brick, set it there, then go to the next one, and so on. Because in the prior step, before I add the remarks, I basically pretended to upload the file, which brings me to the Bricklink upload page over here. And then I can check, I just do control find on the keyboard, and then I type in consolidated, or like the first few letters of it, because then it'll tell me which ones are already in my inventory with the exact same remarks. So then I can put those ones away. Then after that, I just add the pricing, and then yeah, I work on adding the remarks. So yeah, I just keep going through all the stuff. I think I put 2 in a row there, but that's fine. For that, what I normally do is I take several containers. Instead of filling up one container all of the way, I like to have several containers and kind of go in order to an extent, because then that prevents too much of the exact same stuff going in the same one. Like for example, if I just did one container at a time, then that container would have like all of the red legs, all of the white legs, all of the tan legs and stuff like that in one container, and that can make it a bit more difficult to find stuff. Also, if you have similar patterns, then that'll be making it a bit more difficult to find. So what I like to do is just grab some containers and yeah, just add to the one, add to the next, and so on, and then loop back and forth. Sometimes I get too many containers, which leads to the drawers not being too full, but then I'll reuse the drawers eventually when I get to adding something else. So yeah, that's just usually how I do it. And then when I get to one that's already in the inventory, that was on the stuff that was consolidated and isn't here anymore, I just skip over it because the comments are combined, or the remarks are combined as it's uploaded. So just leave it a blank, because otherwise it would override it or something, or like combine it and stuff like that. So yeah, we just leave it and move on to the next one. And then yeah, when all of the parts are in the drawers, then I can just go file, export, and upload. And then yeah, on Bricklink, just paste it here. And then yeah, I can do this. Here's the same type of thing I would do before, where I just then type in consolidate there, and it would bring up all of the different things. for that, but I've already done that. But as we can see, the consolidated ones don't have any combined remarks or anything like that, since I left them blank. And yeah, then can upload it. So that is 194 items, 144 lots, 4404. That one did have one set of legs that was pretty good. I believe it was these ones here from, I think it's Bosch Leia. There's like 30-40 bucks for those legs, so that was a good one there. And then we had some Lord of the Rings legs in there and stuff like that. Actually, we can sort by price here for that. So yeah, Lord of the Rings, Bosch Leia, the Cook, there's some Anakin legs and War Machine legs and stuff like that. So yeah, then there is that. And yeah, then I can get those drawers put away now and then work on the next one. So the next stuff for upload is this here, which is the first few containers from the minerware / marks. So yeah, then have the stuff here. So yeah, filled up these containers here. And then for the small, medium, and large blasters, I just, for the base condition of minerware / marks, or like the more common one, I think over here is the one that we have for minor damage / wear. So for the minor wear / marks ones, I just decided to put them all in their own ones, just because why not. And then yeah, so 2, 4, 6, 8 containers there. Some not quite as full. I probably could have gotten it into 7 or so, but that's fine for now. And yeah, so we've already consolidated all of the stuff, and so then that there is 1,263 items in 293 lots for $1,345.20. So that is uploaded. I can't remember if I already showed the good ones from this lot or not. I genuinely have no idea. But yeah, then so nice headgear, another nice headgear, some nice clips, some capes or pauldrons or ponchos there, and then an Uruk-hai helmet, and then a Grievous arm, some nice armor, and just some nicer pieces there and stuff like that. So that is that done. And yeah, then just a quick check-in. This here is still all we have left of the minerware / marks stuff. And actually, before I forget, I should just quickly go here and calculate this here. So yeah, today we uploaded just shy of $2,000 of stuff. So yeah, overall good progress today. And then yeah, over here is yeah, the minerware / marks. And then over here's these 2.5 containers. And all the stuff in these containers here and over there are for the minor damage / wear. So yeah, we can see the stuff is starting to show up here. Just gonna put this one in here, and then this one in here. Yeah, so then overall, good progress so far on this. And then there's also more progress over here. This here is a container of some of the stuff we're making we're being very careful to make sure nothing gets mixed up or anything. And we know that in some of these containers there's some of the dark tan plumes, but we haven't gotten to them quite yet. But we can see there is some of the dark red antennas that are pretty good. And yeah, lots of other cool parts already popping up from this stuff. So yeah, overall, not too bad. And yeah, then I'll call it a day. And then tomorrow we can get a whole bunch more listed. Yeah, sales won't be good for a few days at least, because people create carts and everything like that. So potentially not by tomorrow's shipping day, but potentially by the shipping day after that. Sales should be a bit better, but we're only just starting to get the stuff listed, because yeah, it'll take, I want to say, at least a couple weeks to get most of this processed. Then the review stuff will probably take another couple weeks or so. So we won't know the total value of everything until everything is done. But yeah, we are still marking all the stuff down for that. I'm also writing down the total quantity of the bricks that we are uploading, so we can just see the total piece count there is of some of that stuff. But yeah, then the store is now above 10,000 lots again, so that is pretty good there. And some residue. Oh yeah, probably I was trying to move the screen or something like that. But then one other thing that I did do, let's move this just a fraction. That was a little bit too much there. Just a fraction more there. But I replaced that. We used to have some tiles there, but the problem is whenever you go to put something in the box, you would hit your finger there and stuff like that. So with this one here, with the curved slopes here, then it doesn't hit it and stop. It hits and just keeps going. So that should hopefully cause a bit less damage on my finger there, because usually when I use that extensively, then it does slowly build up for that. But yeah, then overall, very good progress today. Yeah, it will take a little bit. It took a little bit to kind of just get things like started up today. So tomorrow's a shipping day though, so that'll probably counteract getting more done tomorrow. But yeah, who knows? We are making good progress, and yeah, calling it a day. But yeah, then the one other thing is we won't be sending out any of these things here until, yeah, everything is uploaded. So we'll see how many we can get from that. So yeah, then today we're shipping out about $300, give or take. Yeah, we only really started getting things uploaded from the upload yesterday. So yeah, sales won't be for a couple days at least for some of that stuff. But yeah, so this here is what we're shipping out today. So yeah, stuff is now shipped out. And yeah, it is time to get back to work. I had a bit of trouble with a label printer because yeah, normally I just print shipping labels, but then if you have like an international line, you need to print an extra paper for an invoice, like a VAT receipt or something like that, then you get like a PDF file that you can then print, put on the package. And I've always just printed that with my label maker, and it was fine with the old one. But then this new one here, it just was not going for some reason. It would only print on either the right half of the page if I printed landscape, or if I printed portrait, it would only print the top half of the page. So yeah, it was just a weird mess and stuff like that. So I ended up finding the one setting I had accidentally changed, or not changed, it might have just been the default, that the page width and size of the printer thing was just not quite exact. So yeah, who knows on that. But yeah, then even after rebooting the computer and everything like that, my internet is still dropping off every now and then randomly on the computer. So I'm going to try and disable the update blocker, then update it, and then re-enable that, and hope that that helps. So I'll do that, and then after that I will start working on the next upload. So while running updates to try and get the computer working again, this here is currently on 5% again. I want to say this is the probably like 15th time that it's going from 0 to 100, because there was 3 separate updates. Each of them went individually from 0 to 100, and then it went again from 0 to 100 because it first installed it, then it downloaded it, so then I had to do that for all 3 of them, so that was 6 total. And then I'm pretty sure, yeah, there was the one before those updates where it was checking for updates, which was another 0 to 100, and then maybe 15 was a bit too much, maybe closer to 10, but then after it rebooted, it's now gone like 3 times from 0 to 100, maybe 4 or 5. So hopefully this year is the last time it's going from 0 to 100. This one seems to be taking the longest of them though, so yeah, I can't really do much until then. I kind of put some of the stuff here, but I'll work on some of that stuff then. So then the next upload is this stuff here, excluding the friends heads. I'm going to do that in a separate upload immediately after, because yeah, they're just, I added them, but there's so many similar ones, it's just a huge mess. So I'll work on that after I get the rest of it done. I've now got the parts in their drawers, and yeah, so we got all of these parts here uploaded, or about to get uploaded. So yeah, 882 items, 312 lots for $11.34 and 40 cents. And so yeah, some of the highlights of this upload were the hairpiece from Beetlejuice, the one Ransor Claw. I definitely priced that one at a premium and stuff like that. It's just, I mean, I've got, I think, the set of 4 from one of these, but you usually like never find those, and it's reddish brown from the era. At least I think this is from roughly, 2013. That's roughly the era of brittle brown, and this one isn't brittle brown, I don't think, but it's possible that some from that era are, because I'm pretty sure I've seen a fair amount of these things like on videos of people saying them that it's broken and stuff like that. So that one there definitely went on a premium for that, for it. Yeah, just I'd rather sit on it for a while and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see what happens on that. Worst case scenario, we can always lower it in the future, but yeah, just went for that. And then yeah, the Harumi hairpiece, the one Beard from Lord of the Rings, a sand red droid, a hairpiece from Padme, and some dark orange legs. One friend's torso that are surprisingly valuable there. What year is that from, perhaps? We can see 2015. So yeah, there's that, and then yeah, a whole bunch of other interesting parts. But that is done, and I will work on the friends heads now. So now have all of the friends heads uploaded, and that. So yeah, 38 items, 14 lots for 30.55, and now on to these ones. So yeah, then just gonna call it a day now. So I got that stuff added to a file, and I still have this stuff remaining from the minerware / mark stuff. So only a little bit left. We should be able to finish this tomorrow relatively fast, and then the upload will take like a couple hours tops, or maybe less. I can't remember how long that takes. But then yeah, for the next category of minor damage / wear / marks, which is our most common one, we can see a lot of stuff is sorted here. There's one complete box over here, and then if we go over here, there's just a little bit left in the tray of the previous box. And yeah, so then that is the there was 4 boxes initially, and so now there's 1 box and just a bit on a tray. So yeah, overall pretty good progress there. And yeah, so this here is the one that has most of the stuff. That's like minifigure parts. The previous one for minerware / marks has more so kind of like the accessories and stuff like that. This one has a lot of it too, but this here is where most of like the minifigure parts are. I think in the minerware / marks container, there might have been like 5 sets of legs total or something. Well, plus there was some from the one minifigure, so maybe like 10, 15 total. But then yeah, we can see there's that many, just the one tray here, basically. So yeah, there's a lot there, and then that's where we start getting some of the minifigures as well. So yeah, it'll definitely be really good. There's 4 times as much stuff here as there is the previous one. So yeah, it'll be it'll take probably half a week or so to get the stuff uploaded. Not entirely certain exactly how long, but yeah, very good progress on that. And yeah, tomorrow we should be able to get a whole bunch more listed. But yeah, today it was just the one upload of the 313 lots and then the 14 lots of heads. Still not bad getting over 300 lots done in one day. But yeah, then we still haven't sold anything that we listed, but it's been less than 48 hours, and we're still in the middle of summer, so it's not a big surprise or anything like that, because it usually takes days to finally get the sales from listing stuff in many cases. So yeah, then overall good progress, and yeah, by next week we should see the first item selling. So yeah, then this is the end of the vlog. The very last tray is being sorted from this, and yeah, so today should be able to get this done and then start working on that. But yeah, then lots of work to do. This is the end of the vlog. Thanks for watching if you got this far. Today is Saturday. This vlog will be out Monday, and the next vlog the Monday after that.